In fearful day, in ranging night, with strong hearts full, our souls ignite. When all seems lost in the war of light, look to the stars, for hope burns bright. What's going on, everyone? Park Life Nerds here, back again with our series covering the Lantern Corps, and I must say a huge thank you for all the support on my last video on the Reds. No better way to follow it up than on one of the next best corps, in my opinion, the Blue Lantern Corps. Let's begin. So, the Blue Lantern Corps, or the wielders of the emotion of hope. Where do we begin? So, first we basically hear of the Blue Lanterns is during the Sinestro Corps War. Ganthet and Sage are at odds with the other Guardians. They believe that the Blackest Night prophecy is about to come true. Unfortunately, the other Guardians themselves are not having a bar of this, and they banish the two, basically kick them out, stop them from being Guardians. Whilst in exile, Ganthet tells Hal, Kyle, John Stewart and Guy Gardner basically the legacy or the legend of the Blackest Night, and basically get them warned so they know that something big is about to happen and that they're going to be very important parts of this going forwards. Now, apologies, I'm probably going to butcher the name here, but Ganthet and Sage then set on a planet called Odom, and they create the first blue power ring and begin to start their own corps. So that's when you first hear about the Blues. The first time you actually meet them is in the story arc Rage of the Red Lanterns. Now, in this story arc, the Green Lanterns had captured Sinestro and were taking him back to Oa, but they were ambushed by the Red Lanterns who, if we all know Atrocitus, he has a big score to settle with Sinestro, and they want him for their own. They were looking like they're going to be outnumbered and beaten until Blue Lantern appears and saves the day. This Blue Lantern was Saint Walker. He had the ability to heal Hal, and as a result boosted the strength of his ring, so they managed to basically survive the attack. Saint Walker took Hal back to Odom, where he met Ganthet and Sage again, who asked him basically to help rescue Sinestro. Sinestro was going to play a big part in the Blackest Night story, so unfortunately his survival was key. After a while, Hal agrees, and he teams up with the Blue Lantern Corps to go into the Reds' territory to get Sinestro. Now, during this conflict, we will learn two important things about the Blue Lanterns and Hope. Hope empowers willpower, so basically, blue boosts green. However, if there's no willpower around, Hope does not work, so they both need to be together to kind of empower each other. So basically, if there was no willpower around, they're basically just like fighting like you and me, normal people. During this story arc as well, Hal ends up receiving a Blue Lantern ring, which helps him in the battle. He is unable to remove this, and we see this further in Agent Orange, which is the next story arc introducing the Orange Lantern Corps. The Blue Lanterns at this time are going to look for the Indigo tribe. They're the tribe of compassion, and they believe compassion and hope must work together in order to help prevent the Blackest Night. However, during this they come into conflict with Laughley's, who sees the new ring, and of course, being Laughley's, mine, wants it for his own. After a few attempts to take Hal's ring, Hal is actually able to unlock the full power of the ring Hope, and manages to supercharge his willpower ring, and was able to defeat Laughley's and escape at the time. Now, the defeat set Laughley's back a little bit, but he was not deterred from getting that ring. He takes his whole corpse, him, and he goes to Om to try and take as many of the rings as he can from the Blue Lanterns themselves, which then leads us into the Blackest Night story arc. So during his attack, many power rings fly down to the planet. Now, these are actually black power rings looking for hosts. Black power rings look for dead bodies to reanimate as part of Necrom's army. However, there was no dead bodies around, so they just kind of floated in the sky waiting for people to die, which is a bit sinister. Luckily, no one did pass away at the time. Well, at that point anyway, and suddenly, Hal, Sinestro, Carol Ferris, and Indigo One arrive. They are looking to recruit members of different corps to help them form a team that will bring back the white light, which will help them fight in the Blackest Night story. Saint Walker is key to convincing Atrocitus to join the battle, as he's able to talk about family and passing and losing them, so Red Lanterns join as well. Laughley's goes along as he's promised something by Hal, and of course he wants anything he can get. So yeah, basically they put together a team, or one of every flavour of lantern, and they're basically going to try and bring around the White Lantern Corps. There's a huge battle on Earth. Necron's forces descend. There's zombie versions of all our favourite characters who have passed away at this point. Gambit and Sage demand basically that the Blue Lanterns deputise their rings to give them more members of the corps. For Saint Walker, his ring chooses Barry Allen, so we have a Blue Lantern of Hope Flash at this point, which is pretty cool. And as we all know, they managed to defeat Necron, and that is the end of the Blackest Night. Amazing story arc. If you get a chance, read that one, because it's not easy to summarize it in just a few bits of what a few characters get up to, so definitely get out there and read that one. And then in September 2011, we had something called the New 52, which basically rebooted all DC continuity, kind of affected the Green Lanterns as well, and the Reds and the Blues, I guess, all the emotional spectrum. In this time, Kyle Rayner became the magnet for all power rings, so he got basically everything that was covered in a power ring. The only person who really came to and help him was the Blue Lanterns. So yeah, Kyle's got all these rings and he's trying to learn how to wield all the different powers. Saint Walker is there to try and help him with Hope. It turns out that the orange ring wasn't actually a real ring as well. It was just one of Laughley's constructs. So Kyle was unable to control that one. Next up, the Blue Lantern's homeworld is attacked by the Reach, which is basically Blue Beetles, and have to find a way to basically amplify their power without the Green Lanterns being around, which is a big ask for the Blues. They call for help. Kyle is able to get there, but he arrives a bit late, which means that basically he's able to save a few Green Lanterns, but they do have to surrender, and as well as surrendering their power battery, they no longer had their home planet. And luck just keeps getting worse for the Blues. After this, they find a new home planet, Elpis, or terrible pronunciation again. However, they again become a target of someone called Relic, who is out to basically destroy what he calls the Lightsmiths, which is anyone Lantern Corps wielding rings. So the Blues are in his sights. After this attack, seeing all his friends dead, Saint Walker is basically the only one who survives. He is taken to Oa to try and get healed up. He basically loses hope, which means that the ring leaves him, so Saint Walker is no longer a Lantern at this point. Now, of course, it's comic book, so everything gets undone or redone. Saint Walker sees Kyle Rayner becoming the White Lantern in the story and regains his hope, knowing that there's a White Lantern out there. So basically, Saint Walker's back again as the first of the Blue Lanterns. And just to make everything back to normal, somehow the Blue Lanterns are able to resettle Odom, so they're back to their home world with a new power battery, and that is the Blues. Alright guys, thank you for listening to me on the Blue Lanterns today. Pretty cool concept, Hope. I love how it works with willpower, so they're not as good if they don't have each other around. I do know, well, Sinestro captured them at one point and made an edit so that they can actually amplify fear as well, which is an interesting one. And yeah, I'm interested to see how much more they can bring Blue Lanterns into the mythos and see how they develop. And one thing I didn't cover, but I have to mention, is he's one of my favourite Lanterns. Guy Gardner becomes a Blue Lantern, which is very interesting, especially after being a Red Lantern for so long. I need to get that comic book series and give it a go. So yeah, if you like the video, give us a subscribe, give us a comment, let us know if I missed out anything, and yeah, we'll see you in the next video. Cheers.